Hi guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to draw a skull and 3/4 view. So I'm going to try to take you through just kind of my general thought process. 3/4, let me see, 3/4. I'm drawing really lightly on the paper right now. I'm not even really sure if you can see it because I'm drawing light, just kind of drawing the land lines. Just kind of lines for placement right now. Let me zoom in. You can kind of see them better now. So yeah, you see them a little better. So right now I'm drawing a center line, which I'm imagining is running kind of in the middle of the face. It's going to divide it. I'm thinking of like planes, I'm thinking of the head as kind of a box. So there's going to be like the front of the box is here, and then it's going to go back. It's going to recede into space. That makes, hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to split the front of the face into thirds. It's going to be kind of the top where the curvature of the skull starts to turn, and then it's going to be the top of the brow line. And this will be the bottom of where the nose would be. Since we're doing a skull, there's not really going to be much of a nose. And the bottom of a chin. So that's kind of where I start. Really light, so I can... I'm working in pen right now, so it's nothing special. It's a regular ballpoint pen. So nothing too fancy, really. Okay, so I got my placement. And so the reason I go light, like I said, I didn't finish that thought, but I go light so I can go over it later. And as I darken other things, you don't look at the lighter lines. So from here, I'm going to lightly trace in where I want the eye socket and the nose socket. They're a little too small, so I'm going to grow them a little bit. Just going to kind of go above my line there a little bit. There's a adjust there for placement, so I adjust and I go with it. The cylinder of the mouth. I'm just kind of putting it in there as a square from the side here. Back of the skull's too big, so I'm going to shrink that a little bit. Actually, the top of the head's a little big. I think I'm starting to shrink the features because I'm starting to shrink the outside of the head because some of the features are a little smaller, so I'm just adjusting as it goes along. Somebody said that drawing is just a series of mistakes that you fix, so that's kind of what it is. I'm drawing these light lines just to kind of get an idea, but nothing is set in stone. Alright, so we got the cranium. I still think the cranium's a little too big, but I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so draw where the teeth would come together. I'm putting a line where the teeth would actually come together. So I drew a circle in front, which is right there is the frontalis. It's a muscle in the front of the head. Just to kind of put a placement idea there for at least how the planes are turning. Still cutting down on the skull size a little bit. Alright, so I got the eye socket, I got everything, like this is like kind of a second passing, So it's a little darker, so I got better placement. Alright, let me see. So, I'm going to go into the eye first, because the eye is kind of where people look at first, no matter what, even if you don't have eyes, like the skull. And right now, I'm doing these kind of wispy little lines because it's not totally flat. So I'm doing kind of a thick kind of almost cross-hatching going on. It's just going to be like, I did this in the other video as well, but if I zoom in on what I'm doing, it's going to be like, that would be if I zoomed in on what I'm doing. But let me get some. Let me fix the lighting here. Alright. Just need to fix the lighting. So I'm still going into it. Kind of doing the outer edges of the socket. Still just, I'm kind of just lightly filling it in. Filling in the nose here. Filling in the one eye socket, because it's going to be, you know, receding into space. Still just doing the eye socket shape on the other side. This is the zygomatic arch, the cheekbone. Let me leave that there. Going down to the muzzle area. This is a bump that's on the skull. It's where a lot of muscles come together. It's just like a dimple right over here below the eyeball. It has it on the opposing side also. Right here, this is the kind of the temple area where the muscle comes from the jaw all the way up here to the kind of forehead. So if you kind of bite down, you can feel the right side of your, like, you know, the forehead, the temple area. You can feel that move around when you bite down because it straps all the way up. It goes from the back of the jaw all the way up. It straps to the side of the head. Doing the rest of the jaw here. Doing a lot of wispy lines because I feel it's kind of organic. It's not really a line drawing per se, but it's not really a shaded drawing either. It's kind of like an in-between, and we're still doing like a preliminary step here. We're not doing an actual, you know, we're kind of leading up to shading this, but for now we're just doing this. I'm gonna actually shade this in the next video, but for now I'm gonna do more or less the, I suppose you can call it the line art, the lay-in, the preliminary drawing, the sketch, and then I'm gonna shade that in ballpoint. I'm gonna shade that in ballpoint pen as well, kind going to show you how I shade that using. I love shading with a ballpoint pen. It's extremely fun for me. Shading that area in because it's a kind of it's a hole basically, so it's a recessed area. All these lacking the muscles here. One thing you can do, and I don't know if I'm gonna really do it on this one really, but if you want to give the skull character, you can kind of pull these cheekbones in, like you can kind of exaggerate it by pulling this. Like this is the cheekbone, this is zygomatic arch. Pulling this in more, like way up here, way up there, that'll exaggerate it, kind of make it cartoonier and makes it kind of cooler looking as well. Right now I'm trying to draw a little more realistic, but people do that a lot in video games. I always see this section pulled up, so that's a small little tidbit for the future. The back of the skull. There's a bottom portion, so there's always a lump there. I am not 100% what that lump is. Unfortunately, I will have the answer for that in another video when I go more in depth on parts of the skull and why they're there. But right now I'm just going to go over general drawing of it. So my lines are getting a little darker. And they're getting darker just to, like I said, to pull the darker lines forward. And so the other ones will fall back. You know, you don't look at these things as much. You'll just see the darker lines I put in. So that's why don't go too dark too fast, because that will be the first thing your eye goes to, will be the darker lines. That's why I always recommend building up. You know, it's really just the smartest thing to do. Just build up slowly. If you're doing at least a shaded drawing, or, you know, it depends on your experience level too. So some guys like digging right in. So bottom of the nose area, I'm going to try to draw the top of the portion of the teeth, just very lightly, kind of outlining it, trying to find it where it is. Oops, not committing too much into it. There's a plane change right here. It's kind of a muzzle area. So since this is rounded, it's kind of rounding out. Boom, boom. It's going to be a little bit of shadow-ish, kind of a change of plane over here. But not really a shadow, but we'll go into that in the next video. I'm going to shade in the, just kind of at least put something in there on the eye sockets. I put a little bit over here before, but I really can't see it on camera. So putting little marks in the teeth. There's this kind of protrusion, you know, the gum line really. Keep that there. Alright, and that is a general skull, and in the next video I'm going to shade this thing completely with the ballpoint pen. So please check out the next video. Thanks.